Welcome to the Muskegon Channel. It's Andy O'Reilly back at the Evergreen Cemetery again, and it is almost that time for City of the Dead. You remember we did the story last year. Jackie Engel is our liaison for this whole thing. Jackie, this is a growing endeavor here in Muskegon. Last year was kind of a big deal. It's a little renewal this year, a little bit different stories. Let's talk about City of the Dead. We've got Tim and Carolyn along as well this year. Tim is back. Carolyn's new. She's kind of, she's like, oh my goo, I didn't know we were going to be on TV. But we'll make it easy on you, I promise. Tell me about City of the Dead. Where did it all come from once again?
This is the 8th year, and Tim should probably answer where it started from. It's my 3rd year. The program's the 8th year.
Our head of religious education at the Harbor Church, I think she found out that other cities had, and they have the same name, City of the Dead. And she started that up 8 years ago. And
really, it's an educational program to learn about the people of the past in Muskegon here that really had an impact on this community. And some of them bigger impact, and some of them a little smaller impact. And the roles that they had in Muskegon and the evolution to get where we are today.
You got
Very well put.
See? Yes, well, that's what I do. I put things well. That's why I got the job I do, Balancing a checkbook, not for me. Putting things well, I do that. Tim, talk about your character this year and who you're portraying.
I am, for the 2nd year in a row, I'm doing Captain Jonathan Walker, the man with the branded hand.
Yep, I remember.
I did not put the
You didn't put the brand on this year, okay.
Today, but I will for the event.
Sure.
But he attempted to rescue 7 slaves in Pensacola prior to the Civil War, got caught, put in federal prison, and traveled around the Northeast once he got out of prison, lecturing against slavery. And he settled in Muskegon, and when he passed away, over 6,000 people came, 500 from Chicago alone on a steamer, special train came from Detroit, came to this cemetery to listen to the dedication speeches. So he was a nationally famous person who absolutely helped to fuel the anti-slavery movement.
Remarkable story.
Yeah.
Really was. Carolyn, how about you? We talked before we came on. You said you were a lowly peasant. Now, this does not look like lowly peasant attire.
No, it is not, but that is through the generosity of the good citizens in Muskegon.
Okay.
As famous as Tim's character was, mine is at the opposite end of the spectrum. There is a section in the cemetery referred to as Potter's Field.
Okay.
And Potter's Field is a donated space for those who could not afford a proper burial at the time. My character, Maggie Frazier, all we really know about her is a name and a date of 1882 when she was placed to rest here.
Okay.
We did a composite of characters. We did some research, and we assumed that Maggie Frazier possibly could have been a lumber camp cook's wife.
Okay.
Because lumbermen at the time could not have a woman as a camp cook.
No.
So I had to be the wife. Other than the foreman's wife, the cook's wife was the only one permitted to live in the lumber camp. And the cooks were highly regarded because without the proper fuel, and good fuel at that, you couldn't keep the lumbermen working. They needed 8,000 calories a day.
And there was a lot of work to do
jobs.
back then. I mean, if you look at the history of Muskegon and the amount of lumber that came through here and went down to Chicago, which was all under construction at that time, it was a boom. It was a boom going on here.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And by 1900, it was kind of over.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, lumbermen were well fed by the camp cooks. The cooks were as highly regarded as any chef in a restaurant would be. They said that the food in the lumber camp had to be good, or the men wouldn't work for the camp.
Right. Well, that's an interesting story. And then Jackie, you've dressed to the nines once again. This woman's got more costumes, I swear.
That's only 2.
That's only 2?
Yes.
Oh, you got more than that. Come on.
Well, this year I'm Kitty Lee.
Ooh.
She was married to Captain Seth Lee. He was a well-known ship's master, sailed the Great Lakes.
Okay.
He was a partner of Hackley's. He took the lumber from Muskegon to Chicago for many years, and he did lots of things and was in the paper all the time. But as his wife, I actually did a lot of work, just of course didn't get the credit for it.
Right.
Ran a business and took care of the family and just was a society lady. Our daughters were society ladies. They had big weddings at our house. We lived a block over from Hackley, and there's some talk about...
Just say there might have been a little intrigue.
Little talk, yes, between Charles Hackley and Kitty Lee that we'll touch on that.
Boom. Maybe, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
And
leave that
I'm
one to
sure
your
it was
man.
the hat.
It's a family show, so we'll leave it at that. So this is not only a kind of a spooky feel to it because you're set in a cemetery, but it's really a good history lesson about Muskegon. And it's one of those things where, when you live here day to day, you tend to forget that there's a really storied history of this community and where we all came from and how we got to where we are today.
Absolutely. And most people like the history of it, but it's not real scary walking through
No.
here.
But I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's an eerie feeling, and it's a good time of the year to do it.
Well, I think it helps to show people that it is, this started as a park. The women cleaned it up
Yeah.
and made it a nice place to be.
Yeah.
But we're not a zombie walk, and we don't jump out and scare people.
Nothing like
No,
that.
no.
And if it's too intimidating to enter the cemetery at night, you could come to the Sunday afternoon program.
There you
That's
have it.
right.
And it's not recommended you hold your breath the entire time.
Yeah.
You got to get past that, which I still do sometimes. I'll drive by one and just haphazardly go, oh, wait a minute, I'm not 7 anymore, so I don't have to do that.
I didn't know that.
Talk about admission for this.
It's only $5. You can buy your tickets at the table when you get here.
Okay.
The first tour Saturday starts at 5 o'clock.
Saturday,
the October 14th.
14th, okay.
People will line up, and the first tour will step off at 5. The last tour steps off at 8.
Okay.
And then Sunday the 15th, it's 2 to 4.
2 to 4.
Rain or shine.
Yep.
If it's pouring or lightning, we won't happen. Otherwise, dress prepared for that.
All right.
And there are often cold winds here, so do dress warm.
Yeah, it does get a nice breeze today. Though.
We can hide a lot under here, can't we?
Yeah.
Yes,
right?
we can. Many layers.
You got, excuse me, still fighting it. Hey, you got the cold, I might end up here quicker than you thought. You guys do great stuff, and it really is a fun thing to be a part of. Make sure you come down and check out City of the Dead. You got a Facebook page, you got a
We do.
website, all
Yes,
that.
yes.
We'll put it all on here on the Muskegon channel. Tim, Carol, and Jackie, thank you so much. Want a little history of Muskegon? Bring the kids down, let them know where their history is from. And again, all those details are right here on the Muskegon channel. Good luck this year, guys. Thanks for putting it on again.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.